Hello and welcome to lesson number 20 of Learn to Play the Violin with Me, where I play the role of both teacher and student. Make sure your violin is tuned so we can get started, and also today you'll need your shoulder rest, you'll need rosin, and you'll need your bow. Unlike last lesson, today I'm actually going to start the 15-minute timer, and it is officially going. Here we go. When we last left off, we were on page number 15 of the Essential Elements Violin 1 book, and we were looking at number 45, Christopher's Tune. We had just sight read it very slowly. This is actually the last piece that we're going to play in guitar position because when we turn the page, we are going to start using our bow. I'm super excited. So let's break down Christopher's Tune. We are looking at number 45, let's look at measures 1 and 2. Remember, let's put it on our lap. We're going to hold the scroll up so that it's almost shoulder height. We are going to be using the D string and the A string, which are the second and third strings. We are starting with open D, and our second note is F sharp. So that's 2 fingers on the D string. D, F sharp. Let's try to play measures 1 and 2 nice and slow. 1, 2, ready, play. D, F sharp, D, F sharp, E, F sharp, G, rest. Let's try that again. 1, 2, ready, play. D, F sharp, D, F sharp, E, F sharp, G, rest. Now this next group of measures is following that same pattern, but we're up a note. So now we're going to be playing E to G, those are on the D string, and then we're moving to the A string because there's an A in these next 2 measures. So make sure that you are prepping for that mentally, and you have to be moving your thumb down to the A string. Also, remember, I'm saying this to myself as much as to you, you are playing with curved fingers so that when you play that A string, you are not touching it with any of your fingers, so we're not dampening the sound. Let's try measure 3 starting on E. 1, 2, ready, play. E, G, E, G, F sharp, G, A, rest. Remember that bracket means you can keep those 2 fingers, wherever the bracket starts, you can keep those 2 fingers of the F sharp down until the bracket is ended on the next line. Let's try measures 3 and 4 again. 1, 2, ready, play. E, G, E, G, F sharp, G, A, rest. Let's put together line 1. Starting on D, you'll probably notice the pattern as we go on. Measures 1 and 2 and measures 3 and 4 have a pattern. Measures 3 and 4 are just a note higher, a whole step higher. Let's try line 1. 1, 2, ready, play. D, F sharp, D, F sharp, E, F sharp, G, rest. E, G, E, G, F sharp, G, A, rest. All right, feel free to pause it if you want to keep drilling any parts that you're having trouble with. And then whenever you're ready, come on back. We're going to try that again, and we are going to go faster. Make sure your wrist of your left hand is straight. 1, 2, ready, play. D, rest. Good. Let's try it again. And this time I want you to focus on not looking down at your hands. Let's try that. 1, 2, ready, play. Rest. Oh, I had a little bit of the tiniest fraction of a tiny touching the A string, so it dampened it a little bit. Let's try it one more time. 1, 2, ready, play. Rest. Almost got it. I'm going to try measure 4. Try measure 4 with me. So F sharp, G, A. With those fingers, curling those fingers. Ready, play. Let's do it again. Ready, play. There we go. Let's try it again. Make sure that wasn't a mistake. Ready, play. And one more for good measure. Ready, play. Rest. So remember, if there's like a little bit of an issue anywhere in the piece, just drill that little bit over and over again. That's how we develop good habits and good muscle memory. Let's look at line number 2. We're starting on F sharp. The first space note, right, is an F. Space spells face. First space note is an F sharp because the sharp is in the key signature. Let's try measures 5 and 6. 1, 2. Remember those F sharp fingers are still down because we're still in that bracket. 1, 2. Ready, play. Oh, that was a hot mess. Let's try it again. Remember, I'm learning too. Here we go. Let's try a little slower. A little slower so my brain has time to process what's happening. 1, 2, ready, play. Ooh, good. Well, at least it was better for me, but I noticed that my B was really sharp, which means my finger was up way too high on the string, so it sounded higher than it should have. There we go. B. There we go. Let's try measures 5 and 6 again. Yeah, make sure to adjust your fingers as necessary because since it's not like a key on a piano where it's like I need to play a C, you hit that key and it plays a C every time. This is a sliding scale, right? So you have to make sure that your fingers are in the right position, but there's nothing that's telling you they're in the right position. You just have to do it by ear. So feel free to adjust as you go. Measures 5 and 6. F sharp. 1, 2, ready, play. There we go. Let's try that again. Measures 5 and 6. So if you look, we're alternating between 2 notes on the in measure 5, F sharp and A, but our left hand is actually completely still. We don't have to lift our fingers every time we move to the A because we're going back to that F sharp. So here we go. One hand's doing all the work. 1, 2, ready, play. Let's try that again. I have to remember to put my pointer finger on my left hand down and before I put it on use the first finger because we're on a different string. 1, 2, ready, play. Rest. So my brain's like thinking ahead of my fingers in that scenario. Let's finish it on the A string. Measure 7 and 8. 1, 2, ready, play. Okay, my fingers were not up high enough, so they were a little flat. The B, C sharp, and D. Let's try that again, and I'll adjust, hopefully, this time. 1, 2, ready, play. Rest. That was better. Let's try all of line number 2, starting on F sharp. F sharp. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. Rest. Rest. Let's try it one more time. 1, 2, ready, play. Rest. Rest. All right, let's put it all together from measure 1 through measure 8. Try it slowly, and then we'll try it again a little faster. Here we go, putting all these things together, curving your fingers so you're only touching one string at a time, making sure that you're going, that you're holding down the fingers under the brackets, making sure that you're putting your fingers in the correct position so that you're sounding the correct notes, making sure that your left hand's form is correct with your wrist being straight, all those things. We're putting it together. That's why music is so amazing, because your brain is doing a billion things at once. Christopher's Tune Slowly. 1, 2, ready, play. Rest. 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 My pitch was not flawless, so I'm still trying to learn the exact positions as we go, but I'm trusting muscle memory, and I'm also trusting my ear that I can make tiny adjustments as we go. Let's try it one more time. I'm going to focus on finger placement and curving my fingers. So finger placement so that I sound the correct pitches, and curving my fingers so I'm only touching one string at a time. I'm sure you have your own thing that you want to focus on, and let's do it together for this final playing, unless it goes completely off the rails. Starting on the D string. 1, 2, ready, play. Rest. 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 How'd it go? Great. Let's skip 46, because that you can do that on your own if you want to, where you're creating your own music, and you can practice that as much as you want. That's awesome. The notes of the D major scale, and I'm super excited. Let's turn the page and see what is going to happen next with the bow. Okay, it says let's bow. We have a lot to talk about before we actually start playing. I'm so sorry. So before we start playing number 47, I'm going to give you an overview with the 2.5 minutes we have left, and then starting next lesson, we are going to look at each part more thoroughly, and then I promise next lesson we are going to play with the bow. I'm super excited. All right, let's first put our violin down. Okay. Before we even talk about what's in that yellow box, let's go over a few things. So I said you needed a shoulder rest. So we have a chin rest that should already be on your violin. And then we have this shoulder rest. The shoulder rest does exactly what it says, rests on your shoulder so that the violin is at an easier height. It raises it a little bit so that the angles of your playing are a little bit easier. So how do we put this on? I'm going to give you a quick overview, and then we will try it together next time. So there are two hooks here, and if you look at the shoulder rest, there's a side that has a dip in it. You're going to look at that side that has a dip. Then you see the violin part that has the chin rest on it. So you want to go to the part of the side of the violin that has the chin rest on it, and then you're going to flip your violin over. The part of the shoulder rest that has the dip, you are going to hook on the same side as your chin rest. There are two little curves that will hook to that bottom kind of ledge of the violin. You hook it there so that it's sort of in line, and you will practice with this and figure out the exact placement that works best for you. And then you take this other side and the other hooks and adjust and put it on the bottom on the other side. I'm going to put this down. and then you slide it on to the fattest part of the violin, the widest part of the violin here. And if you do it correctly, then it doesn't fall off. We will go over that together next time, but I wanted to give you a preview. Then we're going to review quickly how to hold the bow. So grab your bow. We're going to practice this. We practiced it before, but it's good to go over it again. There are two kinds of holds. One we've tried so far, where you find it at the, thank you, find it at the balance point. We hold it at the balance point, right, with our right hand. That's an early bow hold. We're going to use that for a little bit before we change to the regular bow holds, which is not at the balance point. It's down here by the frog. So let's find the balance point with our right hand where it kind of feels even weight on both sides. Remember that you are making an oval between your thumb and your second finger. You are putting, you're draping the first three fingers, fingers 1, 2, and 3, over the bow a bit, and then your pinky sits on top. Your whole, your wrist kind of shifts to the left a little bit so that your fingers are on an angle, just like this. Remember that the string, how much tension do we have for the bow hairs? You're going to take this adjusting screw and you're going to tighten it so that it's about a pinky's width between the hair and the stick. Try not to touch the hair because the oils from your fingers will make it less effective. So remember, we want this to kind of be a little bit of a smiley face, not straight across. That means it's too tight. And something we did before is you take a pencil and you should be able to put it in and it should stay. If it doesn't, like mine's kind of wobbly, I probably need to tighten it just a little bit more. I'm sorry, I need to loosen it a little bit more to bring the stick down a little bit, and then it stays without falling. All right, and so that is the bow. Good. And then, I forget at the beginning if I said we needed rosin. I think I did. Well, anyway, the rosin, next time we're going to rosin our bow. So that is, we tried it once before, so we're going to go over that next time, and then we're going to start playing with the bow. I'm so excited. Join me for lesson number 21 when we finally get to the bow. See you then.